When you think tech boomtown, Silicon Valley probably pops into your head first. But get this, Austin. In 2023, its economy actually grew by a real 4.5%.
Wow, 4.5% after inflation.
After inflation. Yeah, it actually beat the Valley's 3%. Kind of unexpected, right?
Definitely. A different kind of story emerging there.
Exactly. And, well, that's a perfect way to kick off today's deep dive. We're zeroing in on how companies are being built now, specifically these things called AI native organizations.
Right. We've been looking at some really interesting stuff, insights from founders actually in Austin, and also this framework for thinking about company autonomy.
It's this powerful mix, isn't it? You got this buzzing tech scene, Austin, bumping up against this like seismic shift in how you even start a company, all thanks to AI.
Yeah, it's not just, bolting AI onto old ways of doing things. It's building it in from the ground up, from day one.
Totally. Austin.
Hmm.
Sure, it's got the legendary music scene. The BBQ is, well, life-changing. But it's also become this serious magnet for tech giants.
Mhm.
Oracle, Tesla, SpaceX.
Even X Corp. They're all there.
They're all there.
Yeah.
And there's still that Keep Austin Weird vibe, which
Hmm.
feels like it helps foster a more diverse and creative atmosphere,
Yeah.
maybe less rigid than other hubs.
Yeah, that weird ethos. It might sound just like a slogan, but it probably signals a real openness, right? A willingness to try new things, challenge the status quo.
Good point. It's fertile ground for really new ideas like these AI native companies.
Exactly.
So for everyone tuning in, the big question we're tackling is basically, how is AI fundamentally rewriting the rule book for building and running businesses?
Whether you're, trying to figure out what's next or just get an edge yourself, this is relevant stuff.
Definitely your jam. Okay, let's unpack this. Why Austin? Why now? What's the advantage?
Well, the material we looked at really flags three things fueling Austin's momentum. First, a kind of political stability.
Ah, the Purple City idea.
Exactly. In today's climate, that feels like a superpower almost. It means the focus can maybe stay more on innovation, less on
Less on the political drama. Yeah,
yeah,
people just getting on with building cool stuff.
right. And second, there's this hungry talent.
Hungry talent, meaning,
Maybe not the absolute elite you'd find fighting for jobs in the Valley, but this really driven, ambitious group. Underdogs, maybe? Something to prove.
plus UT Austin churning out grads, right? That's a huge pipeline.
A massive advantage.
Yeah.
And that ambition, it's fuel for innovation. These folks might be less stuck in old ways,
Mhm.
more open to trying things, pushing boundaries, which fits perfectly with AI native thinking.
Makes sense. And the third thing,
This idea of relative growth being more important than absolute size right now. Austin isn't Silicon Valley huge, obviously,
no way.
but the speed it's growing at is the key. That 4.5% real growth versus the Valley's 3%, Texas growing faster than California overall, it creates this real buzz.
Yeah, like things are really happening. You can feel the momentum.
Right. The source material compared it to the early 2000s Bay Area, that kind of feeling. Exciting, untapped potential.
Capturing lightning in a bottle. Okay, so we get Austin's vibe, this fertile ground. Now let's get into these AI native companies. What are they exactly?
We looked at notes from this ATX AI Natives event, and the definitions from founders were all over the place, actually.
Oh, really? Like what?
Well, you had things like an AI native founder uses AI as an extension of themselves to solve problems faster.
Okay, like a superpower extension.
Yeah. And another said they look for AI and automation opportunities first instead of making hires. That's a big shift in thinking.
Automate first, hire later. Interesting.
And leverages AI tools to build, scale, optimize, and achieve product market fit rapidly. Or just a company built from the ground up with AI at its core.
Then there was that super straightforward one, right? Being able to ask Cursor to do a thing and it does the thing.
Yeah. Simple, but captures that seamless integration idea.
But you also had the more like philosophical takes. An AI native founder is one who reaches for the stars.
It shows how new this all is, right? The definition isn't set in stone. People are figuring it out, which, makes you wonder, what would your definition be? It gets you thinking.
It really does.
Yeah.
And it kind of leads into this bigger picture idea, the rise of the semi-autonomous organization.
Yeah, the source material makes this bold claim. The first $10 trillion company, it'll be one of these hybrids, humans and AI working together.
10 trillion. Wow. How does that even work?
The key idea is incremental layers of autonomy. It's not flipping a switch to full automation overnight.
Okay.
It's about weaving AI into everything. Product, engineering, sales, marketing, ops bit by bit, making decisions faster, smarter, more data-driven, and running leaner.
Right. That idea of a $100 million ARR business with just like 10 people? That sounds wild, but maybe.
Maybe not so wild anymore, because getting access to really sophisticated AI, the cost has just plummeted.
Yeah, it's not like the old clunky, expensive automation.
Exactly. Even if you're not a deep tech founder, you can deploy powerful AI workflows now, and the ultimate payoff isn't just saving money, it's
Velocity. Speed.
speed. That's it. Faster iteration, finding product market fit quicker, scaling faster. That's gold for a startup. And when something like the GPT-4o API is so cheap, wow.
The iteration cycles can just shrink dramatically.
Precisely. And we're seeing hints of this already. The source mentioned companies like Cursor, Lovable, 11 Labs.
Right, getting to impressive ARR numbers with really small teams.
And the point is, it's not just that they have a cool AI product, it's that the company itself is built with AI in the back end, woven into how they operate.
That's the crucial distinction, which brings us to that framework you mentioned, the levels of autonomy.
Yeah, it's a useful way to categorize things. Level 1 they call LLM-assisted companies. Basically, individuals using tools like ChatGPT here and there.
Okay, so sporadic use, no real strategy.
Pretty much. Useful, but fragmented. Then you jump to level 2. AI-enabled companies. This is where it gets more serious.
How so?
These companies are using hundreds of internal LLMs, AI agents, often overseen by a chief AI officer or someone similar. The goal is to supercharge the human workers, make them like 10x or even 100x more productive.
And those examples, Cursor, Lovable, 11 Labs, they fit here.
That's what the source suggests. They're building companies with AI, not just building AI products. But interestingly,
What?
the source found that very few companies they talked to, even ones calling themselves AI native, actually qualified as true level 2. Maybe only 2.5%.
Wow. So lots of aspiration, but maybe less deep integration than you'd think.
Seems like it. Okay, then level 3 is semi-autonomous organizations. This is where maybe 50% of the revenue is generated by AI employees.
Yeah, employees, okay.
Humans are mainly in executive senior management roles, overseeing things. The structure gets incredibly lean, very little middle management.
And the revenue per employee could be huge, right? Like over $1 million ARR per person?
That's the target they mentioned, but crucially, the source says they haven't actually found a real level 3 company yet, so we're still very early.
Still on the horizon. Got it. What's level 4?
Autonomy-first organizations. Now AI is doing 90% or more of the value creation.
What?
You've got maybe a visionary founder orchestrating AI co-founders. Humans handle uniquely human things, high-level strategy, partnerships, networking, especially with older level 2 type companies.
This is where that one-person unicorn idea comes in.
I-
Sam Altman's concept.
Exactly. Could that become real? Level 4 suggests maybe. The human role shifts dramatically.
Okay, that leaves level 5. Fully autonomous.
Fully autonomous organizations. This is the mind-bending one. Companies founded, managed, grown, scaled, even exited entirely by AI.
So no humans involved in running it at all.
That's the idea. The source suggests this might signal AGI, artificial general intelligence. Maybe the singularity. It really makes you ask, what's the role of humans then? What's our value?
Deep questions. Does the source speculate on that?
A little. Touches on ideas like a venture blockchain where anyone could invest in these AI companies. Or maybe access to intelligence itself. Electrons, they called it, becomes the new currency.
Electrons as currency. Interesting.
And they threw in this fascinating thought. What if consciousness remains uniquely human?
Meaning?
Meaning AI, no matter how smart, might always need us for that spark. Kind of a Matrix vibe almost, where they depend on us in some fundamental way.
Huh. That's a twist. AI needing humans.
It's provocative, right? Even with superintelligence, maybe humanity keeps a unique role.
Okay, so let's pull this together quickly. We've got Austin, this hotbed of innovation, stability, talent, growth. We've got AI native, meaning building with AI from the core.
Right, and these levels of autonomy from just using tools here and there.
All the way up to potentially fully autonomous companies run entirely by AI. And the big driver through all of it is speed, velocity, efficiency gains.
Absolutely. Which leads us perfectly to that final, really thought-provoking question from the source material.
Which is?
When do you, the listener, envision our civilization actually reaching level 5? The fully autonomous organizations.
Oof, that's a big one. When does AI take over the boardroom entirely?
It really forces you to think about the pace of change and what the future might actually look like.
Definitely something to chew on. Maybe send us your thoughts. Until our next deep dive,
Yeah.
keep thinking.